I'm Wade.
It's Creed.
And this is Slightly Mediocre.
So what you're eating, Wade?
I found this candy cane.
That's from Christmas,
From Christmas.
It's like months old.
In my Slightly Mediocre goodie box over here that I use to hold my drink.
In the garage.
In the garage. It's been warped because of the heat and the cold of Texas weather. But it's all right.
Hopefully it's still audible, or else we won't be seeing Wade next season.
Yeah. Hopefully. Let's start a GoFundMe. Let's make sure Wade makes it to season 3.
Yeah. Pay for his medical bills. Oh, man. So, what are we going to be talking about today?
Well, today, so if you guys don't know, and you guys might not be big fans of, let me fix this because we're slightly mediocre.
There we go.
There we go.
Little midway correction.
This is it. That's gross. All right. So where was I going with this? Oh, so if you don't know, this season is the last season of Big Bang Theory.
Oh yeah,
and for all of our like nerdisms and everything, like it was the one show that kind of brought it all together.
Honestly, yeah.
And kind of made being a nerd in the mainstream.
I agree. So this show's been around for a long time. Like this was around before I was in high school, while we were in high school, and then I guess now finishing up.
Yeah.
At the end of my college career, and Wade's right out of college. But this show's been with us for our entire, I guess, educational journey, one could say, and it's been pretty cool because, we've actually gone to school with people just like these characters. Like I've gone to school with people that are like Sheldon. I've gone to school with plenty of people that were like Wolowitz. Too many, honestly. Just that weird, creepy type.
Isn't that you though?
Oh, wow. Wow. That Raj. Okay. No, so, we've gone to school with, like, all these different kinds of characters, but it's a good show because, honestly, it's one of the few shows out there that's, science-based with the science behind it actually, legit.
Most of the time.
Most of the time. For the majority of their science is pretty accurate because, they have consultants. One of the actresses on the show, Mayim Bialik has a PhD in neuroscience.
Yeah.
She plays a neuroscientist on the show. So when she's saying she actually knows because she earned a degree all the way up to a doctorate in that field. So which is really, really impressive. And they've used her for references for other stuff.
So can we talk about that for a second?
Yeah.
There's a lot of people in Hollywood that have just buku smarts.
Yeah.
So you got Dolph Lundgren, who has multiple masters and PhDs, and he's been doing movies with Arnold Schwarzenegger for who knows how long.
Honestly, though, he's probably made more money doing that than he would have made.
Oh, definitely. But the point is like, dude is wicked smart. Wicked smart.
Okay. Right.
But the other thing is you got Lisa Kudrow from Friends, Phoebe from Friends. Yeah. She has a PhD as well. You have Bill Nye, who actually, like, the stuff he developed at Cornell University is still being used today. I think it's like a valve or something like that. Yeah. It's something really crazy.
He has some patents, yeah.
Yeah. And then you got Natalie Portman, who, in Israel, where she's from, she was discovered developed a way for like water, something like that. It was something along those lines. He's gonna look it up real quick.
Yeah, look it up.
But there's a lot of people in the film industry that are just stupid smart. We're looking up Natalie Portman right now.
What did you say she made?
Education. Jerusalem. Ohio State, 2 research papers, simple method. Oh, yeah, this one right here. So,
and she graduated from Harvard.
Yeah,
so,
but
Princess Amidala knows her stuff.
If you've watched any SNL, from her raps that she graduated from Harvard.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, so like we're look on Natalie Portman's Wikipedia page, like
and it's pretty loaded. Yeah, she knows her stuff.
She's more than just a tiny chick in Star Wars.
Or the Black Swan, or V for Vendetta, or,
having weird intimate relations with Mila Kunis and the Black Swan.
And we thank her for that. So moving on, but like what Wade, I think what Wade's getting at here is that all these actors and actresses have all these educational background and all these educational smarts, but they've also found an outlet through the arts, I guess one could say.
Yeah, they're a little more left brained.
Yeah,
like they're with their career choice.
Yeah, which isn't a bad thing. They've done well for themselves, which is pretty good, and they're still contributing to society.
Like hell, if I could be an actor, like because let's be real here, like I'm smarter than the average person. Not to like toot my own horn or anything.
But he's eating candy cane from 4 months ago, so.
But point is like I guess they just desired a little more than to be stuck in a lab all the time or stuck in an office all the time. So they were just like, screw it, I'll go be an actor. And they're definitely using that smarts in their acting roles. Which
I guess so, yeah. Which is, whenever you can apply what you've learned to what you like to do, then, it's not really working, is it,
Yeah.
So, as long as you're having fun. But anyway, back to our original topic. So, The Big Bang Theory, great show, It's had a long run, and there's always been critics of it saying that, and I do agree, though, the first few seasons were like probably the best seasons because, it was really funny. And they're still really funny now.
Well, there was still like the tension between Leonard and Penny. Sheldon was just Sheldon. Yeah. You had Raj, who still refused to talk to girls for the longest
time.
Unless he was drunk. Yeah. And then
Wallowitz being a horn dog. Living with his mom.
He didn't. Yeah, he still lived with his mom, and he didn't meet Bernadette yet. So it's like it was kind of when they were still in their younger crazy days. Kind of before they settled down.
Yeah. It's more about their family stories and more of more of a story driven. There's still a good amount of funny stuff. Don't get me wrong, but critics will always say that the earlier seasons were funnier and this and that, and one could argue that it were, but it's still a good show now.
Yeah, I mean nowadays it's more of and I think the writers purposely intended this where they're slowing it down now and letting them kind of settle into their lives and everything like that because at a point there's not going to be any shenanigans or any
things to do,
crazy things to do. Like you're going to run out of stuff to write. You can't be like The Simpsons,
Oh yeah.
So you just have to figure out a way to slow it down. And I think the way they've decided to do that progressively throughout the years has definitely been beneficial for the writers and the show. And they're not just like cutting it like they did with Firefly back in the day.
Yeah. And one thing also with this show is that you get to see that characters grow as well as the actors and actresses grow. You see them age through their through like I guess all 12 seasons.
Yeah.
You see how they've grown, and it's really interesting to see that. So that's one thing I always take away with the show. And one thing though with the show is that no matter how many seasons goes on, how many more seasons or whatever, how many episodes, they will never run out of different shirts for Sheldon to wear. Like that man there's like a website online where you can literally browse by episode of different kinds of shirts, and he has different shirts, and like they're really cool shirts.
And just like Wallowitz with his
buckles,
his belt buckles. It's definitely interesting to see. And then you have an interesting fact about Big Bang Theory. I think it was like for the first 3 seasons, none of the main characters were seen on camera eating. Like during all the little eating scenes, they just sit there and like play with their food and just talk to each other. But on you don't ever see them eating, which was kind of interesting. I think it was just the male main characters. I think that was like the little factoid thing that I saw. But yeah, it was pretty cool. There's been a lot of controversy over some of the science related things that go on in the show. Just because, you got some people who are like, oh, that's fake, or you got, some actual scientists who are like, oh, that's real. You have, what's her name? What's Sheldon's wife's girlfriend's name?
Oh, Mayim Bialik?
Yeah. So she was asked during an interview one time.
Amy?
Yeah, Amy. She was asked during an interview one time of, did she have to memorize the calculus equation for the show, or was the calculus equation just gibberish on the show? And she just like laid into the interviewer like, I have a PhD. I know how to do calculus like in my head. Like I actually know how to do calculus. It's not just something for the show. So I feel like the character or the actors and actresses that are a little on the smarter level probably get fielded a lot of stupid questions like that. And then you have actors like Sheldon, who
you got an interview and they're like, any of that stuff's like, nah, damn thing.
Yeah. So it is definitely interesting to see kind of the dynamic between some of the smarter actors and actresses. I mean, nothing against Matt Parsons. Is that his name? Sheldon?
Oh no, Jim Parsons.
Jim Parsons. Why did I think Matt?
Hate yourself. Jim Parsons, and
it's this candy cane, man.
Yeah,
like,
dude,
that's
old, but yeah, a good show. But yeah, so
was there anything you learned from the show while watching it?
Me, not wouldn't say like learned, but like one thing I took out of it was like I guess when we started off in the beginning, being a nerd at school.
Yeah.
Being in high school and like liking all this stuff, and it's like, oh, it's cool to actually like Star Wars or Star Trek, and like, I guess because some people have like some stigma about it. We could go on and on about that. Like, always like, oh, there's this stigma about like, oh, liking this stuff. I'm like, it's a free country. I can like whatever the hell I like, as long as it's not harming anybody or anything like that. But if you like Star Wars, you like some other stuff that's been classified as nerdy stuff. There's nothing wrong with that.
And one thing that annoys me is the fact that who cares what other people think? Like, why should you care what other people think? It's your life. Some people are just very socially driven, and they want to be part of the trend and everything like that. And I feel like we're seeing a lot of that, like nerd-wise at least. Not only due to like Big Bang Theory, but the new releases of Star Wars and the new X-Men or the new DC and Marvel Universe movies and everything like that. Where there's a lot of people out there who are like fake nerding.
Yeah, or they're like I guess there would be more of a casual fan.
Yeah.
Not like hardcore fans. Like they're fans, and they would go see that movie, but they're not like, oh yeah, I have this issue of this comic book or this and that. They don't probably never even open a comic book.
Yeah,
honestly.
yeah, and so you have people like that who want to like stay with the trends and be trendy, and then and fine,
yeah,
do
good
what
on
you want to do.
Yeah, y'all do you. Yeah.
But for the nerds out there, like because I grew up being a nerd, and in high school and everything, like I went to a really stereotypical high school. I was actually talking to my girlfriend about this a few days ago. Like I went to you imagine high school from like
High School Musical or something like that?
Well, no, not necessarily like a High School Musical. I've never seen it, so I don't know.
Or like what's your stereotypical?
I'm talking like
your stereotypical TV high school.
Yeah. Or
different cliques and stuff like that.
Yeah. So super stereotypical. You had the jocks, you had the cheerleaders, you had the popular people. You had the cool people. You had your goths, everything like that, right?
Yeah.
And then of course you had the nerds. Now the thing about it is, I didn't really care because I was I did auto tech, I did all this other stuff. I was on the football team for a little bit before I got kicked off. I was in the theater group before I got kicked out.
I can't tell that story.
I kind of had, I showed up in a new muscle car like every week because I did a bunch of restorations. That's a different story for another day. But it was interesting to be a nerd in that sect for the most part because overall people want to mess with me because it's like, oh, you're just a normal dude, like you got kicked out of a bunch of stuff, like we're just gonna leave you alone, like you're weird, right? And then you had like the actual nerds who they looked it, they spoke it. Like if you think of Revenge of the Nerds, you would see these guys, right? And ladies. And they were always getting picked on and stuff, but like, who cares? Who cares? Like they like Star Wars instead of football. Like, instead of running scrimmages or running cheerleading practices or anything like that, they're playing Dungeons and Dragons. Like no one cares. So it's like, And I feel like Big Bang, to bring it full circle of what we're talking about, I feel like Big Bang Theory kind of, like I said earlier, like brought that kind of into the mainstream a little more, which is a good thing because, like you see it a little bit more now where, the nerds aren't really, like, I don't know. Like, I'm sure there's some places where they're still probably being picked on and whatever.
Sure, yeah.
But
bullying occurs everywhere, So that's one thing, like, if, you're out there and you're nerds, don't, and, like, if someone's picking you or, like, bullying you or whatever, just ignore them, if they feel like upon themselves to, like, belittle you because of what you like and to make themselves feel better, then just take pity on them and, just say, like, take the high road and ignore them,
Now, if they're physically, emotionally, or verbally abusing you, then you have to take action.
Yeah, take action, but don't don't do anything violent or anything stupid. But tell somebody. But if they're just making fun of you and picking on you or like saying random stuff,
if they're just picking on you because you like Star Wars, like who cares? Who cares?
They're missing out.
For real. Or if so there was one time when Pokemon Go first came out.
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
I was always playing Pokemon. I still play Pokemon Go.
He still does.
I have it going on my Apple Watch right now, so that way every time I move like this, it's actually tracking me walking.
Oh no, I bet it moves a lot at night. Oh!
This is supposed to be a family show.
Shut up. Season 1.
Not season 2. But when Pokemon Go first came out, I can't tell you how many times people came up to me and like, you playing Pokemans? And there would be a bunch of expletives thrown out, and people like calling me names and stuff, and like, oh, that's childish and stuff, and I'm just like, I don't care.
And mind you, this was in college.
Yeah, I was 21.
Sad stuff, dude. But like, like what Wade did, he just ignored it.
Yeah, I don't care. Like, big deal. I'm a little childish.
Yeah.
Like we went to go see the Bumblebee movie. Like there was children in the theater, and we were just like picking it apart.
Yeah, and then like you see like over this past summer, we saw the Incredibles, the second one.
Oh yeah, we saw the second Incredibles, which was definitely a little more adult oriented, but still,
And you see all these little kids were like, hey, we've been waiting for
we've been waiting for 12 years.
Yeah, so let us watch a movie,
And I guess what you could say in like real life, we kind of. I don't want to compare ourselves to the cast of The Big Bang Theory because we're not,
we're in a garage.
We're not written, we're not scripted or anything like that. But like in our day-to-day lives, like we could probably be compared to that cast.
Pretty much, yeah.
Like we actually live it. We're not just paid to act it.
Like we've said, like we've gone to school with those people. We know people. We sometimes act like those people.
Yeah.
Which isn't a bad thing, unless you're a creeper like Wallowitz. Please grow out of that. But so
yeah, if you're a creep like Wallowitz, please seek help.
Yeah, or get a girlfriend or something. That's what helped him. But
make sure you're not creepy.
Oh yeah,
creepy stuff is
not cool.
Weird, especially in this day and age where everything's misinterpreted.
Don't be creepy. But
don't be creepy.
Like I guess it's a parting message to wrap things up.
A parting message to wrap things up. Don't be creepy.
Don't be creepy. No, on a serious note. This, this show is a great show, and it's sad to see that it's ending. And I guess
it's not entirely sad because they are replacing it with young Sheldon.
Yeah, which is but
which I've seen an episode
you won't have the
of.
Cast, though.
It's pretty great.
You won't have the same cast.
Yeah, but it's Sheldon.
It's in the same vein,
and that's the reason why you kind of watch Big Bang anyway. Because like I personally didn't watch it to see the Leonard and Penny stuff because that was just annoying half the time. Yeah. Raj, he was funny. Wallowitz had some moments. But the main reason I watched it was to see, what kind of shenanigans was Sheldon going to get into. And now you see that in young Sheldon, which is not bad.
So let us all know what you all think down in the comments below. What you liked about the show, what you didn't like. If you're, I guess, a nerd, that's what they would call it, and what your thoughts are on like that whole, the situation or whatever. And, but yeah. Oh, just to,
also, comment, what's your favorite episode?
Yeah, definitely. Let us know, and who your favorite character is, too, Let us know what in the comments below. And before we end the episode, I'm going to make a little add-on. So this is a separate deal. So our very first episode of this series, or this season, it was We talked about some movies that we saw over the Christmas break a few months ago. And one of the things we were talked about, I guess, was the Bumblebee movie.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to add a little.
He's gonna go on a Sheldon tangent for a minute.
Yeah, I'm gonna go on a little. I'm gonna go on a little tangent. So my big thing, like one of my pet peeve, I guess major pet peeve, not really a major pet peeve, but a pet peeve of mine, is plot holes and just like things that kind of don't add up. And this just kind of bugged me. So if y'all have seen The Last Night, I guess it was the previous Transformers film. That was 2017.
The fifth Transformers movie.
And it wasn't a bad film, it
wasn't bad.
It was funny. There was like good scenes in it, but one scene showed a little flashback of Bumblebee and some other unnamed Transformer fighting on the side of the U.S. during World War II, and the guy said, their I guess participation turned the tide of the war for the Allies, which is cool and all. But in this new Bumblebee movie, which just came out this past winter,
it came out on Christmas.
Yeah.
Of 2018.
Yeah. So
for those of you watching in the future.
Ooh. So this film, it's shown that Bumblebee arrived on Earth from Cybertron in like the 80s. And to back this up, and people will say, oh, he just landed or whatever. To back up my claim, if the character played by John Cena in that film, the Bumblebee film,
John Cena!
Anyway, so if his character, because he was supposed to be like part of some government agency who knows all this stuff, and he would have
like some dark,
some Black Ops stuff or whatever. Anyway, he would have known, like, oh look, it's Bumblebee. He's a dude that helped us win the freaking World War II. I'm like, he would have known it's that dude. Like,
maybe he just failed history.
I don't know, but that's one plot hole like that. I just was kind of irking me. I just wanted to bring it up.
So that episode was months ago now, and he hasn't shut up about it since.
Yeah,
because so we filmed that episode right after we watched the movie, right? And then we wanted to we were sitting there, we were talking about it. He was super stoked about it, right? And then apparently a few weeks go by, and then he's had time to process everything, and he's just like, there's a bunch of plot holes in that. And then pretty much every week since then, he's just been like, there's a bunch of plot holes in that. And he gets just rage. He just rage modes.
So
he just did. That was the past 5 minutes.
That was drawn out conversation. But so a little backstory on how we film things here. We don't have a script. We just do stuff from the dome. We didn't have
we didn't have a script last season.
Yeah, no.
So don't think that we started with the script and then we're like, oh, we're gonna be edgy and go improv.
And this is all we do all of our videos in one take. So that's why they're super cringy and super slightly mediocre. Super mediocre.
Okay, not all of them are done in one take. We do have some takes where
we couldn't show.
There's
some stuff that we just could not do in public. But yeah, so let us know what you all think about Big Bang Theory.
Let us know if you want a blooper reel too.
Yeah, let us know.
We can post that too.
But yeah, like, comment, subscribe, and thanks for watching. See y'all next time.